Moody Shiny, everyone. I hope everyone is having a beautiful Friday and is looking forward to this weekend, catching up on plenty of sleep and rest and, just relaxing. My name is Kay, and welcome back to Breaker Mode Experiences of a Black PCVE. If you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I'm trying to get them subscribers up, y'all. And for those of you who are already subscribed, thank you. I love you. You are a supportive bunch. I support you too. Anyways, so it has been almost a month since I've been teaching here in Zambia, officially in my community, and it has been great. I love my school. I love my pupils. They are the most sweetest, selfless beings that I have ever met. And every day I get to learn each and every one of their personalities, their little quirks, what they like to do, who they hang with, their little cliques. My coworkers and superiors, they have been wonderful. They have been helping me every step of the way. When I feel a little frustrated, I guess they sense it and they're like, oh, well, this is a challenge that this school faces or this area faces and things like that. And they give me tips. I actually go to church with my head deputy. I'm actually going to go to church this Sunday with the head deputy of the secondary block of my school. There's a primary and there's a secondary, and I'm going to secondary. I can't wait. Going to church has actually been a huge part of me integrating into my community. That's where you meet majority of like your pupils, parents, the most active members in the community that'll be able to give you access to different projects and so forth. It has been great. This past Sunday was actually really funny because I went to a Catholic service, Catholic church, of course. I don't know how to I don't know what the politically correct terminology is, but anyway. So I went to church, and of course, a lot of the sermon is in Ichibemba or Ichilala, and there was a part of the service where I didn't realize that they had said any new visitors come to the front of the church. So all of a sudden, I have like eight pairs of eyes on me. People looking at me, and so I start staring right on back until I realized, oh, I need to go to the front. So I just creeped myself to the front, improvised my little Bemba speech. It was like my Ichi Bemba is Panono Pamnono, but in there, Kafunda Shawai Chisungu Kuma Bonde Primary. Yeah, they got it. They got it. Anyways, so today my actual video is going to be segmented around my experiences of teaching so far and the challenges that I see myself facing as an American TEFL teacher. TEFL stands for Teaching English as a Foreign Language. My first video I actually said that I was going to be teaching grade 6 and grade 8. That actually was incorrect. I'm teaching grades 5, 6, and 8 as a TEFL teacher, a TEFL instructor. I'm actually required to teach 3 classes per day. So yeah. So my grades 5 and grade 6 class, I actually have a time slot and I slip right in, while that primary teacher of that class, they'll be in the back grading or, fulfilling their other teacherly duties. Great. However, for grade 8, I actually co-teach with a teacher, which is wonderful because secretly I feel a little overwhelmed with teaching grade 8. I actually have no experience with that age level, teenagers. Just kidding. They're sweet kids. However, it's been a blessing actually observing a teacher right off the bat and getting a feel and picking up some tips and giving feedback and so forth. It's been wonderful. So yeah. This week I actually started and I'm close to completing my assessments for my baseline assessments for my grades, all my classes. And I feel The further down the line I was assessing, a more of a dark cloud was starting to form over my head. It's not from my students per se, because it's not their fault that they're not yet able to comprehend the basics of English, or how to use it or comprehend it or anything to that nature. It's basically from me thinking that I lack the capability to fulfill the desires and goals that I set for myself. I am not too ashamed to say that I thought I was going to come to the to this school with guns blazing, and that my method was going to be the method that was going to bridge the gap between the known and the unknown. Foolish to think that one person will be able to make a difference amongst children, amongst multiple pupils, was silly and foolish of me, because teaching is definitely a team effort. I, I knew that I was going to be teaching at a grossly underfunded school in the rural part of Zambia. That I was going to not only have to overcome the challenges of integrating into a new culture on basically, essentially on my own, to be able to, break down those barriers that I have just from being an American. But I didn't, I knew that I was going to have to teach students how to read, but those challenges, I can say I did not take seriously. I'm like, oh, that's going to be a piece of cake. I should fight me. Teaching is such an underrated job. Like, oh my goodness. So after I was really mentally drained today. So instead of completing my assessment, I just gave my students a break. So today I asked my pupils as a warm up what they want to be when they grow up. Some said doctors, one said a soldier, one said a reverend, multiple said teachers, one said a nurse, and another said CEO of a company. Oh, that's my girl. Oh, that's my girl. Shit, oh, I love her. So I was like, okay, that's wonderful. I was like, do you know what all of these have in common? And they were just crickets. So I was like, you need to learn English to be able to, give orders, to be able to fill your duties, to be able to run a company, to be able to preach the word of God, to be able to teach pupils. You need English. Then my follow-up question was, do you know which one of these jobs are the hardest? Some said a doctor, some said a nurse, some said a reverend, some said a soldier. Only one of my pupils said a teacher. And I was like, yes, that is the hardest job of them all, because that job, this one job, makes all of these other careers, all of these dreams, all of these possibilities possible. What I should have asked myself is, why am I teaching English? Why did I come all around, why did I come across the world to teach English? I know why I joined the Peace Corps, but why did I decide to teach English? I don't know if I've really asked myself, am I capable to accept the challenges it takes to be an English teacher, to bridge the gap? Pupils don't start learning English into grade 5 and then take a nationwide test in grade 7. Some people struggle with handwriting. Some people struggle with sounding out words. And it's not their fault. I'm not pointing the blame at anyone. I'm not trying to shed any negative light on anyone, on my community especially, because they're the most beautiful people I've ever met. It's just, how am I able to bridge this gap that I so grossly underestimated? Will this challenge break or mold me? All right. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. My newbies, don't forget to like and chapwa.